And now, here to entertain you all, because every day he's hustling. Side Hustle Cinema.
Welcome back to the channel. Side Hustle Cinema here. Thanks for clicking on this video. And today, guys, we got kind of a fun one. We are going to be taking a look at something I got from Full Moon during their 4th of July sale. And this one's pretty cool. This is really cool. I got the Primevals, collector's box set here, and this thing is pretty awesome. It's got a great story, that goes with this movie, and yeah, I just wanted to kind of share that and tell you a little bit about it, and we'll take a look at this thing. This thing is another Full Moon box set that's really awesome. They've had the 2 launch trunk. Earlier in the year I did a subspecies coffin set that was really cool. I've showed off like the stash box and things. They're probably one of the best at doing box sets, and this one is no exception. Look at this thing. It's made of wood. This is like real leather straps here. Metal rivets in here. Very cool. And then, nice little wooden box. And then you got the little stamp there. And there's the back of it. See, you got some hardware. There's your hinges. Very cool. Then when you open the thing up, this is what we're dealing with. Check that out. That is very nice. And so, right up here at the top, you get this like little foam insert that you can pull out, and it's got like these movie cards, and you get several of them in there. But I'm gonna leave them in there because I kind of like the way it looks, like whether the pack is taped there, because it's like perfect placement, where you kind of get like a nice little picture box effect. And so I kind of like that, because who really looks at those art cards anyway? Not many people. And then to help you out and keep things like all nice and organized and straight, they put this little plastic cover on here. It's a bit of a pain to like move every time. But, you move it, you watch the movie, you put it back, and it's going to, like, stay nice. And then check out these buttons, or these enamel pins here real quick. You get the Yeti. And look how big that thing is. Isn't that crazy? I mean, that thing's huge. And then you get the one of the lizard people. That's pretty neat. And this, these things are absolutely enormous. Nice and heavy. And then you get 3 movies in here. 3 of them. And I like the way they're all packaged in here. So you get this one, which is the finished version of the film. And then you get this one, which is the David Allen version of the movie. I'll tell you what that's about here in a second. I'm going to tell you all about the movie and the story behind it. It's got a really good story behind it. A lot of struggles went into making this one. And then here's a whole 3rd disc full of extras. And the guy in the middle there, that's David Allen, the director, of this movie. And yeah, so it's pretty cool. So all right, here we go. Let's talk about this. Let me put this down for just a second. Also got some free gifts because I ordered it during the sale. And I think this whole set is limited to like 500. They sold like 200 with Charles Band's signature, his autograph. And then there was like 300 more that was available for that July 4th sale. And I think once those are gone, I think it's gone. I know Umbrella is putting out a version of the movie. on a standalone. I don't know if Full Moon will be doing the same thing. I just don't know. But anyway, let's talk about the movie a little bit, and then I'll show you those gifts. So this movie is about a group of Sherpas that end up finding a Bigfoot, and they end up killing it. And then these people, they go to research it, and they're like taking a look at the brain and everything. They kind of come to the realization that they need a live, specimen if they're really going to do some research on it. So they get this whole, expedition going to go back and find one. They want to find one of these big Yeti creatures. And so what they end up doing is they discover there's the monster there, and I'll show you the back. Give you a look at the inside there. Get a little disc art there. But they end up finding the monster and a whole bunch more. They end up finding this like alternate universe kind of deal where there's these lizard people that are like the bad guys. These Yetis who they're kind of fighting against, and then there's a bunch of dinosaurs and different things, and it's these these two like kind of scientists, and then like a big game hunter, and these different people that are going on the expedition. And so this movie was an idea that David Allen had like a long time ago, and he's a special effects kind of stop motion expert. He's worked on a lot of movies and stuff. Batteries Not Included was one of his big ones, back in the day. And so he ended up coming up with this outline for the movie, and eventually, like the first draft of the script back in the 70s. And so while working on this one movie called Laser Blast with Charles Band, he ends up finding, hearing about, that's the first time that Charles Band heard about this movie, and he watched a production reel and was like, okay, that, sounds kind of cool. Let's do this movie. Well, he had just started, in the 80s, he had started his Empire Pictures company that ran for like 4 years. And even though he had agreed to, do the movie, it never made it out of pre-production while it was, under the Empire Pictures, control or whatever. And so, flash forward a little bit, and Charles Band ended up starting, Full Moon. And he started that actually in like the late 80s. And that kind of spilled into the early 90s. Well, they decided to make this one a big production. Like they were going to, roll out the stops and do this Primevals movie the right way. And so they put several $1 million into the shooting of the movie. And so in 1993, they ended up shooting all the principal photography in a 12-week shoot in Romania. And then they came back and they were going to, do a lot of the stop motion stuff, work on some different things. A lot of post-production was needed for this movie because of all the stop motion animation. Well, what ended up happening was Paramount Home Video ended up separating from Full Moon, and that ended up causing Full Moon to struggle financially. And so the movie ended up getting shelved. Plus, David Allen had to keep taking, other jobs that paid. And, so things just drug out. And unfortunately, in 1999, David Allen ended up dying from cancer. He was only 54 years old. Well, he ended up leaving all of his, things for the movie, his stop motion puppets, all the production stuff, everything, to Chris Endicott, like one of his good friends who was working with him, in hopes that Chris would, somehow finish the movie. And so, Charles Band and Full Moon, they ended up, they started an Indiegogo account back in 2018 to try to come up some money to finish the movie. They only came up with like $40,000, but then Kent Burton and a whole bunch of people that knew David Allen ended up donating a bunch of their time, and they worked with that $40,000 budget to give us a finished version of the movie, so that they could finally put it out. And they also did a really nice score to this one. This one got scored by like an orchestra, and just to make it feel more epic, make it feel bigger, kind of give it that nice treatment. And so they also did a version of the movie called the David Allen cut. Now when you watch this one, what ends up happening is toward the end of the movie, are certain scenes where the stop motion should have been. Some scenes are unfinished, and so you get like storyboards and things like that they show during this version of the movie. It kind of gives you a better idea of what his original vision was. So if you were to watch these, I would say watch the newest one first, especially if it's your first time. Watch this one, and then go back and check out that director's cut of the movie, so that you can kind of get the whole idea. And then you have so many special features and things on this third disc. It's a great set. Now I mentioned that I got some special gifts because I bought it during the sale. It wasn't on sale. I paid full price, but they did throw in a Primevals lunchbox, which is pretty cool. And so you got the lizard guy on the back. You got some nice 360 artwork all the way around. And then on the front you got the Yeti guy. Very cool. I thought that was really nice. And then also I got a copy of Delirium magazine that Full Moon puts out, and that was really cool. Of course, it features a nice article and things from Primeval. And what else I like about Delirium, and I'm going to subscribe to Delirium. It's got a lot of cool features in here. It's got a Joe Dante interview where he talks about Piranha. And there's an Alex Winter interview in here as well. And there was some stuff in here from The Witch, like talking about, Anna Taylor-Joy. And then you get, like, here's something else I like too. There's a ton of physical media advertisements. Like even the back here is an advertisement for physical media. Just on the inside there's some. Right there there's more. There's like tons of physical media advertising in here. And I really like that. I thought that was really cool. And the articles in here were also great. So I was actually really surprised with how much I enjoyed that magazine. And so I'm definitely going to subscribe to that magazine. It's not even that much, but yeah, you can get that over at Full Moon and subscribe to it if you want to. It's really cool. Well, anyway, that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, learned something about this movie. I think it's a really cool set. This is one of those movies that I love to collect. Just because of how special it is in the background, the packaging, everything about it is just really special. So, yeah, it's definitely one of my favorites in the collection now. And, yeah, that's going to do it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're unsubscribed. And stay safe. Have fun. Keep watching those movies. And I'll see you on the next one.